Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Michelle Fondin and I'm the author of Twin Flame Romance, The Journey to Unconditional Love. I'm also the author of Twin Flame Union, 7 Keys to a Healthy Twin Flame Journey. All of my books are available in paperback Kindle and Audible books. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for subscribing below. Click on the bell, scroll up to all for all notifications. And thank you for giving the video a thumbs up. I do readings, 30, 60, and 90-minute readings, twin flame romance, general readings, life path and purpose. You can book that at my website, michellefondinauthor.com. Welcome to the Twin Flame Awakening Experience. This is the second chakra, chakra number 2, the Sacral Chakra. And we're going to address the Sacral Chakra today in this video. If you're interested, please do stay tuned. The Sacral Chakra is the second chakra. It's called Svadhisthana in Sanskrit. It is below the navel and above the pubic bone. It's called the Sexual Chakra or Creativity Chakra, which embodies both of those things. It is one of the 3 chakras of matter. And the color is orange. And actually, I didn't have really much orange, but I'm wearing kind of an orangish sweater today because I really didn't have anything orange. Orange is maybe burnt orange is kind of my color. I don't know. But we're really going to focus today on the second chakra, the sacral chakra, and the twin flame journey, because twin flames tend to have a lot of problems balancing the first 3 chakras, or the chakras of matter. They have an easier time going up into the chakras of spirit, but they have a more difficult time staying grounded enough to work through the first 3 chakras. And in reality, all of us need more work on those first 3 chakras. It's kind of, think of it as like a reprogramming. We need to reprogram our concept of the first 3 chakras. Now, in the last video I did, which was on the first chakra in this series, I'll put that right here, I really explained how, especially for twin flames, it's so important that you ground yourself. Because the twin flame experience can take you into the ethers, into the beyond, into the spiritual realm. It's even more important than ever that you ground yourself. So do check out that other video on the first chakra and the twin flame experience. But for the second chakra, it's so problematic. So many people have so many issues with this second chakra, the sacral chakra, the sexual chakra, the creativity chakra. So much wounding happens here. If you think about it, sexuality, the sexual chakra, your sexual organs, the sexual impulse. This is a yin chakra or a feminine female chakra, and the element of this chakra is water. And if you want to learn more about the chakras overall, do check out my book, Chakra Healing for Vibrant Energy, Exploring Your 7 Energy Centers with Mindfulness, Yoga, and Ayurveda. So the second chakra can be so problematic for twin flames in particular because of this intense energy that can be perceived by both the divine masculine and the divine feminine as just sexual energy, almost like this unbridled sexual energy that is so passionate and so incredibly intense. And it really unlocks a lot of the woundings, especially in the second chakra, the sacral chakra. So just think back to the wounding for you that has to do with your own sense of sexuality, your own sense of using your second chakra, using your sexuality toward certain goals. So for some people that can look really different. For some, it might look like promiscuity at a really young age. It could be promiscuity in this current age, like just looking for partners to have sex with, or jumping in and out of relationships, or jumping in and out dating situationships. For others, the distorted image of this sacral chakra can really look like addiction in any forms It doesn't have to be a sexual addiction, although it could be. It could be an addiction to something like pornography. It could be an addiction to alcohol, drugs. It could be an addiction to food or gambling or shopping or overspending in general. So if you're looking at the creativity chakra, it really encompasses all of these things that can be problematic if it's not channeled in the proper direction. So the creative force within us, this creative energy within us is so incredibly powerful because we are creators after all. We have this impulse to create. Sometimes we have this impulse to procreate. And as a twin flame, it's essential that you find the problems within this sacral chakra so that you can heal the wounding that lies there. Go into an analysis. For example, if it's jumping from partner to partner or having those one-night stands, for example, you need to really dig in and explore why. Why do I have a problem with commitment? Why might I use my sexuality as a tool to get what I want? Or why might I use my sexuality as a tool to just gain pleasure in the moment and not have something that is longer lasting? Or why am I just okay with immediate gratification instead of putting my creative impulse into something that can grow over time, such as a business, for example? When you really dig deep into that wounding, now the wounding may have happened in childhood. It could have been through abuse. It could have been through low self-esteem. It could have been through not seeing a healthy expression of sexuality with your parents, for example, where there might have been abuse, or maybe frigidity, where your parents were cold to one another and you never saw that love and affection, kind of like the water naturally flowing from that love to physical affection. Now, it didn't have to be that you saw your parents like being sexual with one another, but those loving touches, the kisses, the hugs, the caresses just on the cheek or on the shoulder that showed you that sexuality can be something very healthy in a long-term relationship. Or maybe you didn't have your parents together, so you didn't see that as an expression. So you had this distorted view of what that meant when it took part in a longer-term relationship, or not, or the absence of a longer-term relationship. And perhaps you mistaked your own sexuality as something that made you run wild and it transferred into something addictive, for example. So all of this emanates from the same source. This all emanates from the sacral chakra, the second chakra. Some people, when they have issues with second chakra, they might experience infertility, for example. They might experience problems physically with their own sexuality. Another thing that you might experience with a blocked second chakra is a lot of lower back problems, a lot of lower back pain. And so when we really dive deep into the why am I experiencing blockages in my sacral chakra? Why am I experiencing a lack of flow of creativity in my life? Then you can really find these solutions and start to utilize that energy as a creative force for you, as a force for good. So as I mentioned, we all have this creative force within us in the second chakra. We couldn't possibly not have it, because if you think about it, we are created to then create. And so you can use this as something really positive in your own life. Creativity through the sacral chakra and using that flow of sexual, sensual, and creative energy can be put forth into something super nice. So it could be having a plan to create a business, having a plan to create a family, having a plan to create a beautiful home and decorate your home and make it super creative. There are so many ways in which you can awaken the creative forces of the sacral chakra. One of the best ways, since it is a feminine yin aspect of the chakras, you can use it through creative movement, through dance, creative expressions of movement. Yoga is another flowing creative expression that can move that sacral chakra energy. Tai Chi, Qigong are also those types of flowing movement that are going to move that Qi, move the prana, move the energy through the sacral chakra. So any flowing movement, swimming, for example, can also open up the flow within the sacral chakra. So when you think about your energy, the creative force of energy in your second chakra, think of energetic flow. Anything that feels flowing and moving and progressing toward a certain creative destination, like baking a cake or making some brownies, right? Because it's a creative flow. You add the dry ingredients, you add the wet ingredients, you stir the wet mixture, right? You put it into the oven and you're creating, you're transforming something. This beautiful process can be used for good, for your higher good, rather than being stuck, stagnant, or being used as a detriment to you. Now, let me give you an example of how you might be using your sacral chakra energy as a detriment to you. If you've used your sexuality in the past to satisfy or appease others, such as partners or even somebody you're dating, in order to create the peace, have the peace, give them what they want, you are actually using your creative force to deplete yourself, because it's not something that you're doing voluntarily to connect to your higher spiritual self through the sacral chakra. You're using it as a way to appease someone, to maybe get what you want on a physical level, whether you want them to go to dinner with you or whether you want them to buy you some flowers. So you're not using that creative force energy in a positive way. So in a negative way, it begins to deplete you. And as you deplete the creative force within you, you begin to feel drained. You feel drained, you feel stuck, you feel a lack of motivation, you feel a lack of flow and creativity in your own life. Now let's think of one more thing in our lives that is also a creative flow and a creative force. And that is money, right? Money is a creative force of creative flow. Money is just an energy system that is constantly in movement, constantly in motion in the world. And it's just a flow. It's constantly flowing. And if you've noticed, money tends to flow in and flow out, right? When we have this open concept of the sacral chakra energy, this creative flow energy, kind of expanding and contracting, moving in and moving out, but healthfully and mindfully moving in and moving out in this constant flow, just like the ocean's waves. When we have a healthy sense of, I'm going to use this creative energy to put something out there into the world, and then as a result of me using my creative force to put something out into the world, then something good, such as money or abundance, will come naturally back to me as a natural flow. When you have problems with your sacral chakra, twin flame, you are likely to also have problems with money and flow. So we all know people that have addictive patterns, for example, and those addictive patterns actually block the flow or create excess of something that you do not need in your life, such as food, drugs, alcohol, whatever it happens to be. When you are constantly grasping at something, that's what addiction is. It's constantly grasping at something that you don't really need. When you're constantly grasping at something, again, there is that sense of depletion. It's odd. It sounds odd, right? Because take, for example, someone who has an addiction to alcohol, they're imbibing in a lot of alcohol. So it is filling their body or filling the need, but then it's never enough. It never reaches the point at which it's enough. So it's this huge imbalance, this really big imbalance within themselves, which then creates more depletion, if you will. So the same thing goes for any addiction. The same thing goes when you're using your sexuality not for a higher purpose, such as, connecting to love, connecting to source, for example. So when you're doing it because you want something, need something, or trying to fulfill something that's empty inside, then you are using the creative force against you. Now, when it comes to your twin flame, many twin flames use the sacral chakra. They use the sexuality to try and gain attention from their divine counterpart. They use this lower chakra because it's easy. Because it's easy to attract in your twin flame at that lower chakra energy, especially if your twin flame is operating in the imbalance of the lower chakras. Most importantly, many divine feminines find this really early on. They find that one way to get their divine masculine to pay attention to them is to use sexual language, is to propose a meeting for a sexual meeting. And because they do this, they get some attention from their divine masculine twin flame, but very soon thereafter, it backfires. And the reason why it tends to backfire is because you are trying to connect to a divine connection at a lower level. Because the sacral chakra, I'm not saying it's a bad chakra. It's not a lower level chakra at its highest level. But at its lower level, it's a lower chakra, if you will. So all of us can use any of the chakras in a bad way, or a way that is not intended to be used, or as I'd like to say, an imbalanced way. It is not in your highest good, generally speaking, to use the lower chakras to try to reel in your twin flame to get what you want, because it's not the way we connect as spiritual beings. We connect at much higher levels. So while it might work for a little moment, it's not going to work in the long term. So I hope this was helpful to you, twin flame, to give you some perspective on the sacral chakra. And I hope you take it to heart and really explore those areas of imbalance in your own sacral chakra. So I want to thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for subscribing to my channel below. Click on the bell, scroll up to all for all notifications. And thank you for giving the video a thumbs up. Thank you for sharing this video with other twin flames. Thank you so much for your support on my YouTube channel. You can buy one of my 10 published books. You can join one of my twin flame boot camps or meditation course. You can join my group coaching. All the links are below. And I will see you in the next video.